Layer 1. The Old Juliet Prison. The only haunted house in Chicago located inside of a prison that is claimed to be haunted. It operated as a prison for almost 150 years and reported awful conditions for the inmates that were there. In 2002, the prison was abandoned, only to be reopened as a fun, haunted attraction for anyone in the market for some scares in a scary setting. Trauma Towers. This attraction was opened in 1980, and it is a haunted-themed funhouse at Pleasure Beach in the United Kingdom. It was closed in 2008 and has remained closed since. House of Frankenstein. Located in Niagara Falls, Ontario, the House of Frankenstein is more of a show than it is a haunted house. It will lead guests through a castle setting at the famous House of Frankenstein, all while telling the story of Frankenstein and his monster. It is tame and can be fun for people of most ages. Backwoods. This haunted attraction is located in Burbank, California, and amazingly enough, is located in somebody's backyard. Backyard haunts are popular in their communities, but this specific one has a name on the map because of the detail and setting of how well the actors perform, all while being just in someone's backyard. It stands up to full-on haunted houses, and even better than many of those. Layer 2. A lot of these are your run-of-the-mill haunted houses, and most of them are located inside of amusement parks. Halloween Horror Nights. Ran in Orlando by Universal Studios. The first time this was ever ran was in 1991, moving back and forth between Universal and Islands of Adventure. Currently it resides in Universal and runs every year in October, opening the entire park up for people to come ride rides as well as go through the different haunted houses. Fright Fest. Operated by Six Flags, this event has been in operation since 1986 and has been such a success they run this event at every Six Flags now in October. This is another park that allows you to ride rides and also go into haunted houses throughout the park. This one is well known for the amount of detail they put into their spooky shows, specifically on the opening night of the event. Knott's Scary Farm. Starting in 1973, the haunt that Knott's Berry Farm puts on is well known and is located in SoCal. They have many rides to go on and different houses to go through. Out of all the amusement parks in this layer, by visitor testimony, Knott's Scary Farm seems to be a favorite out of any of the haunts. They put a lot of time into their decorations, and their actors are more into their roles in order to give you a good scare. Valley Scare. Located in Shakopee, Minnesota, and operated by Valley Fair, this event runs all October and allows guests to ride almost all of the rides and visit many different haunted houses. One thing that people like about this event is during the day, it is open for a certain amount of time to allow kids and families through. This way you can scare people more ruthlessly at night. Busch Gardens Hollow Scream. Beginning in 1999, Busch Gardens opened up their October event for guests to ride rides and also go into haunted houses. They are well known for their interactive haunted houses and also the scare actors along the sides of some of the rides while you are on them. Many people talk about how much effort they put into their haunted houses. Screamtown. Located in Chaska, Minnesota, and being the only traditional haunted house in this layer, is actually 5 haunted houses and a hayride in one. Being around for just over a decade, they have built a name for themselves by being a little more scary for a basic haunted houses, with actors that can touch you and interconnected pathing on the different haunted houses, along with food to eat, and actors roaming while you aren't even in the houses, makes this more of an amusement park than a haunted house. Dent Schoolhouse. a haunted house in Cincinnati, Ohio that is placed in a real schoolhouse with a grim history. It is said that the schoolhouse is haunted by the spirits of the children that have said to be there by a janitor that worked for the school. The haunted attraction has grown in popularity because of the backstory mixed with some of the theming of the attraction and the impressive actors. Haunted Hoochie. Passed down from family to family, this haunted house is known for being extremely gory and realistic. Depictions of murder and other graphic scenes make this house stand out. However, from the sounds of it, what stands out more is the controversial posts made by the owners of the haunted house on social media, but that's for a different video. Perdition Home. Located in California, this house all started in 2016 as a yard display that became so popular as a mini haunt that they had to expand the haunt into an additional building that they added on in their front yard. House of Shock. This haunt started in 1992 in a backyard and had to be moved to a commercial location after growing too large, moving to a warehouse that it now resides in. They are well known for their gruesome scenes and scares, as the name would imply. It is one of the most well-known and highest-rated haunts in New Orleans. Pennhurst Asylum. In 1908, this opened as an asylum, and over 10,600 patients were admitted to the asylum, of which over half died. After closing their doors, the asylum sat dormant for a long time before in 2008, a company bought the asylum and turned it into a frightening haunted house with an asylum theme that can be extreme for some. It is also rumored to be actually haunted. Layer 4. Soap Factory, Haunted Basement. Located in Minneapolis, the old soap factory has been around for hundreds of years and was used to make soap. The amount of deaths in the building makes people believe that it is haunted. Since the 1980s, it has been used as a venue space for different types of artistic events. Not operating there anymore, but having a good run, was the Haunted Basement that was put on by local actors from the Minneapolis theater. It was the most extreme haunt in Minnesota, allowing the actors to touch you, pick you up, tie you up, and even remove your clothes. There is no footage of the inside, but as you can see from the trailer, it is definitely artistic. Reports from people who went through talk about how terrifying it was. The 17th Door. There are two locations for this one, in California and in Chicago. Opening first in California and quickly being crowned one of the most intense haunted experiences, as when you enter you can be touched, moved, bumped, and in certain years they have shot people with airsoft guns, and also shock people with electric prods. Erebus. Opening its doors in Michigan in 2000, this was set out to be one of the most intense haunted houses around. It has 4 stories and includes extremely graphic depictions and terrifying actors that will touch you and mess with you. It was crowned the world record for the largest on-foot haunted attraction. Gates of Hell. A combination of horror movie and haunted house is what Gates of Hell will give you. They focus heavily on storytelling and scene setting, starting from the moment you park your car, as to get to the house you are loaded onto a bus and brought miles into the dark woods before being shuffled into a house that is filled with terror straight from a horror film. Layer 5. Viewer discretion is advised. Blackout. Calling it a horror experience, it was first opened in 2009 and is easily one of the most disturbing experiences you could put yourself through. The owners regularly talk about how they are very into the entire storytelling of horror. This experience starts months before you actually enter. After you sign up, you will be joined into a digital storytelling to more immerse you in the experience. You will be tortured and hurt in many ways, physically and mentally. Stag. This is an immersive experience that is less about physical pain and more about mental and emotional. The actors will mess with you in strange ways you wouldn't expect. It is extremely artistic and it's said to be unlike any other play you would go see. It is recommended to not go in if you suffer from PTSD. Victim experience. Labeled as literal torture, this one no longer operates. As you can see from this photo, they put emphasis on how much it basically just tortures you. Does not seem to have much of a story to it either. So yeah. Miasma. Miasma is said to be the haunted house that McCamey Manor should be, as that is what they claim. It is intense physical and mental torture, focusing heavily on the storytelling and the theatrics, all while trying to break you down to the core. YouTuber Reckless Ben went through the haunted house after he did a documentary on McCamey Manor, and we are all still waiting for that footage to come out. Catharsis. As with the rest of the haunts on this layer, it is another torture house, heavily focused on storytelling and messing with you and your mind to see how far you can make it before you completely break down. If you would like any more information on these places listed, I will have everything linked below. Thanks for watching and please consider subscribing.